The Straw Hat Pirates' journey begins, from Luffy's first adventure to the shocking battles against many pirates. Let's recap everything from One Piece live action Season 1. The story opens in Losh Town, 22 years ago. Pirates gathered to see the execution of the Pirate King, Gol D. Roger. When asked about his treasure, he told them to explore the sea and find it themselves. The crowd went wild, and the guards executed him. After his death, many pirates chasing his treasure were born, including Monkey D. Luffy, who started his journey in the East Sea on a small boat. On his first day, he struggled with throwing water out and couldn't swim. His dream was to find One Piece and become the Pirate King. While daydreaming, water flooded his boat, and he hid in a barrel, drifting at sea. He woke the next day to 2 ships firing cannons. One ship was led by Alvida, who wanted to kill her rival herself. She jumped to the other ship and fought, but couldn't find her target, Roronoa Zoro. She killed another pirate and called Kobe to clean up. Kobe came without complaint. That night, Luffy snuck in and told Kobe to act as if he was the future Pirate King. Kobe refused, saying pirates were cruel and Luffy was different. Quick flashback shows young Luffy meeting Shanks. Luffy wanted to be a pirate, but Shanks warned it would be hard. Luffy proved his determination by holding a dagger to his eye. In present, he shared his plan to reach the Grand Line, undaunted by danger. Kobe helped him escape before Alvida woke, but Luffy accidentally rang a bell, waking everyone. On Sixus Island, Mr. Seven arrived and asked Zoro to join him, but Zoro refused, cutting him in 2. Meanwhile, on Alvida's ship, she tried to attack Luffy, but her weapon bounced back, and he defeated her with his stretching powers, even bringing Kobe with him. A short flashback shows Shanks bandaging Luffy, who later eats a devil fruit, while another pirate tries to provoke Shanks. Shanks stays calm, which angers Luffy, and his hand stretches as he leaves in frustration. In present on their boat, Kobe shared his dream of joining the Marines. Luffy admired him and decided to leave him at a Marine base for a Grand Line map. Meanwhile, a clever woman on another ship pretended to be weak to protect her gear. In Shellstown, Marines were in a cafe. Zoro and Nami were there. Nami flirted with Marines and Zoro talked with a girl who made him rice balls. A scoundrel insulted her and ruined the rice balls. Zoro fought him, while Nami taked a Marine's uniform. The scoundrel was Captain Morgan's son, so he didn't kill him because he would take him to his father for a reward. Captain Morgan's offered to join. He chose punishment over joining. At night, Luffy asked Kobe to prepare the boat. The next morning, he found Zoro tied up and threatened by Morgan's son, and he freed him. Luffy knew Zoro was a powerful pirate hunter. Meanwhile, Nami searched for the Grand Line map in Morgan's office, fighting off a Marine who spotted her. Luffy arrived, and they decided to work together, though they weren't yet a crew. On their way, they met Morgan, whom Nami had tricked, and took the keys to his office. They found the locker with the Grand Line map, but Morgan realized pirates were inside. Luffy tried to pull the locker, lifting it from the floor, but they fell out the window into waiting soldiers. They fought them off, and Zoro arrived to help. Luffy and Zoro fought Morgan together with perfect teamwork. As they tried to escape with the locker, Morgan's son appeared but was knocked out by Kobe, who stayed behind to follow his dream. Saying goodbye, Luffy, Nami, and Zoro set off on their journey. Meanwhile, a Marine commander learned about the Grand Line map and moved their ship, and another pirate planned to steal it. In another quick flashback, Luffy practicing his devil fruit powers. Shanks arrived, revealing they would seek One Piece and never return, which upset Luffy. Back in the present, Nami opened the locker. She explained the Grand Line, but Marines arrived with red smoke. Before losing consciousness, Luffy ate the map. They woke in a wooden box. The box opened and Buggy arrived, holding the island's people as puppets, forcing them to laugh at his jokes. He demanded the map from Luffy. Both wanted to be Pirate King and have the Grand Line map. Nami skillfully threw Luffy's cap, and he caught it with his stretching powers. She tried to escape, but was caught and put in the green room. Vice Admiral Garp arrived at Shellstown, watching Morgan brag. He also eyed Kobe suspiciously. Zoro hung from a board, and Nami was caged, but she found a stick to open her lock. Buggy tortured Luffy by stretching him from 4 sides, but he smiled. Buggy noticed Luffy's hat belonged to Shanks and insulted him out of jealousy. Buggy ordered a man to stretch Luffy to pieces, but he refused. Buggy grabbed a child Luffy cared for, which made Luffy furious. He freed himself and punched Buggy, but Buggy's body rejoined thanks to the Bara Bara no Mi, and he released red smoke to knock them out. At the same time, Kabaji arrived to seek revenge on Zoro for his brother's death, throwing knives, but Nami opened her lock and kicked him, and Zoro defeated him. In another short flashback when the scoundrel returned, Luffy humiliated him. The pirate tried to strangle Luffy, but Shanks arrived and beat the attackers. Though he endured insults, Shanks wouldn't let anyone harm his friends. After defeating them, Luffy was taken to sea, facing a monster. Shanks stood firm and Luffy embraced him, realizing Shanks lost his arm protecting him. Later, Shanks gives Luffy his hat, which Luffy loved. In present, Luffy was trapped in a water tank, terrified of water. Buggy demanded he reveal the map location, promising to make him his right hand, but Luffy refused. At the same time, Garp called Kobe, forcing him to reveal his friends. He had no choice, so he revealed the pirates, since they were the Marines' enemies. They reached Luffy's tank, and Nami used a stick to free him while Zoro attacked. Buggy's body kept rejoining, using itself as a weapon, but Luffy fought back with his stretching powers, punching him despite the regeneration. Spotting boxes, Luffy had an idea and told his friends to put all of Buggy's body pieces inside them. Only his head and foot remained, which Luffy threw with a punch. Before leaving, he freed the commoners without asking anything in return. Meanwhile, Garp announced he would stop the pirates heading to the Grand Line, with Kobe assisting him. At the same time, villagers offered food, but Luffy took only one piece, knowing they needed it more. In Syrup Village 7 years ago, young Usopp rang an emergency bell about pirates, but no one believed him. In present, Luffy's ship was leaking, so they needed a new one. Nami worried about her destroyed phone. They decided to go to Syrup Village, famous for shipbuilding. Meanwhile, Buggy was back and recovered his body parts. Arlong's crew came to meet him, but Buggy refused and fought, nearly fainting. In Syrup Village, Luffy and his friends looked for a ship. Nami planned to steal it, but Luffy wanted to buy one. They found a ship cared for by Usopp, who knew the owner, Kaya. Usopp led them through a back door, dodging Buchi's knife, but Kaya arrived and invited them to dinner. Klahadore, her butler, asked them to change clothes. Usopp gave Kaya a giant pearl and shared his adventure story, which she loved. Luffy tried on clothes, while Zoro thought he had seen Klahadore before, but let it go for now. Klahadore served blue tea to Kaya, who trusted him since her parents had died, while Buchi and Sham prepared a strange soup in the kitchen. During the birthday party, Nami noticed Mary managing Kaya's property, and Kaya told everyone to enjoy themselves. Luffy bet Nami he could get the ship for free, and declared at dinner that he was a pirate interested in it. Klahadore tried to expel them, but Kaya allowed them to stay the night. Meanwhile, Helmeppo asked Garp about pirates in Syrup Village, and handled to Kobe, making Helmeppo jealous. Mary tried to meet Kaya but was blocked. Kaya turned 18, sharing her property with Klahadore, who killed Mary with 5 knives. Also, Buggy was bound after Arlong kidnapped him. He updated about Luffy stealing the map. Late at night, Luffy and Zoro sneaked out. Luffy hungry, Zoro thirsty, using Luffy's nose to find the kitchen. Nami stole valuables and ran into Kaya's room. Kaya forgave her and called her a friend. Usopp was already in the kitchen, shooting expertly, and Luffy admired his skills. During their talk, Luffy revealed that Usopp's father had been with Shanks, and Luffy had lived with him. Zoro wanted to drink alcohol from the basement. In the basement, he found Mary dead and the murderer and Klahadore, who was actually Kuro, a captain who had done many raids. Buki and Sham were with him. Zoro showed his sword skills, but Kuro's speed was too fast. Sham broke a bottle, letting Usopp escape through a narrow path. Kuro wasn't worried, knowing no one would believe Usopp. Nami said goodbye to Kaya and kept her things safe. Buchi and Sham threw Mary and Zoro into a well. Usopp warned villagers about pirates, but no one believed him. In the well, Zoro woke in a cave. Kobe found Usopp and believed him, though Helmeppo told him to ignore the messy pirate. Nami saw Luffy lying seemingly dead on the table. Buchi and Sham revealed the soup was poisoned. Kuro ordered Luffy thrown into the well. The bell rang, and Kobe came to check on Luffy, finding nothing wrong. Sham and Buchi handed Luffy over to Marines thinking he would die. Nami came out of hiding and hit Champ, while Kuro shut the door on Kobe. Short flashback shows 7 years ago in Shimotsuki Village, young Zoro fought Queenie with wooden swords, always losing. He believed he could win with a real sword. They promised to train daily until one became the best swordsman. In present, Usopp told Kaya everything, but she slapped him for scaring her. Kuro didn't pretend loyalty anymore and turned on the security system. Nami warned Kaya about Kuro's evil plan. She used a secret path to her father's room, coughing and revealing herself to Kuro, who stabbed the wall near her. Meanwhile, Zoro tried to hook out of a wall and remembered training with Queenie, who had always defeated him, but he knew he would surpass her. This memory gave him strength. At the same time, Kobe sensed something unusual in Usopp, but Helmeppo told him to focus on Luffy. Helmeppo mocked Luffy when he vomited. Kaya found her parents' picture, sliding it to reveal a tool, which made a noise that attracted Kuro. In the well, Zoro, remembering his master, had told him Queenie died. He retrieved her sword, a relic, deciding to become the world's greatest swordsman. In present, he finally gets out. Meanwhile, Luffy woke and told Kobe to help him save his friends. Zoro arrived, knocked out Helmeppo and Marine soldiers, leaving only Kobe, whom Luffy warned not to interfere. Kaya and Nami hid behind a table and Usopp behind a curtain. Kuro arrived, attacking everything with knives to take revenge. Just then, Luffy and Zoro entered through the Iron Gate. Luffy moved forward while Zoro handled Buchi and Sham. Kaya grabbed a knife to defend herself and Nami helped, but Kuro held them both. ready to kill Kaya. Zoro was fighting Buchi and Sham, swinging swords against them. Kuro tried to attack Kaya, but Luffy stopped him. Luffy tried to punch Kuro, but he was too fast, hiding behind a pillar. Listening to his footsteps, Luffy hit him. Sham stole Zoro's sword, but Zoro recovered it. Zoro defeated Buchi and Sham. Luffy dodged attacks and finally punched Kuro through the face, throwing him out the window. Everyone cheered. Kaya offered them a ship, the Going Merry, and Luffy invited Usopp to join as their sharpshooter. They set sail happily, while Kobe felt ashamed for disappointing Garp, though he wasn't scolded. Suddenly, a cannonball hit the ship. Luffy realized it was fired by his grandfather, Garp, shocking everyone. A short flashback shows Garp trying to train young Luffy to fight pirates, but Luffy always loved them. Back in the present, Luffy refused to run and ordered Usopp to fire back, but they mishandled the cannon. Garp demanded their surrender, yet Luffy bounced the cannonball back with his stomach, giving the crew time to escape. Garp laughed at his failure. Afterward, Nami told Luffy he needed to communicate with the crew. Luffy was upset, and although Zoro tried to comfort him, he refused. Just then, Luffy smelled food and led the crew to Barati, a restaurant run by Zeph. Getting a table was difficult, but Nami paid generously. Meanwhile, Sanji was criticized and banned from the kitchen, becoming a waiter instead. He taught rude guests a lesson, which impressed Luffy. Meanwhile, Garp's ship was damaged, needing 2 days to repair. Kobe suggested reinforcements, but Garp refused, knowing how to handle it. He called Mihawk, the strongest swordsman who defeated everyone effortlessly. Garp tasked Mihawk to bring Luffy unharmed. Kobe eavesdropped, confused how Marines used a pirate for help. At Barati, Luffy enjoyed the food, signing the bill as a loan. Zeph arrived angrily, telling him to wash pots instead. Nami worried about Marines and ordered a drink to calm herself. A mysterious man offered to take her to Konomi Island at dawn. At night, Kobe asked Helmeppo about Mihawk, who was allied with Garp and Moraine under a contract to avoid war. Later, Kobe accused Garp of dealing with pirates, but Garp explained that sometimes tough choices are needed to protect the world. Meanwhile, Luffy met Sanji, praising his food and asking about his dream. Sanji wanted to find all blue to become the world's best chef, but refused to leave Zeph. Nami and Zoro shared wine as Nami spoke about growing up poor in Orange Town, while Zoro revealed he had only one true friend, Quina. Nearby, Usopp exaggerated his adventures until he met Mihawk, who asked to see his captain. Usopp led him to the crew, where Zoro immediately recognized Mihawk and challenged him to a duel. Nami tried to stop it, but Zoro insisted, and Mihawk agreed to fight at dawn. Usopp asked Luffy to help save Zoro from Mihawk. On the ship, Zoro refused to listen because he wanted to face Mihawk alone. Nami knew he was risking his life, and Luffy realized Zoro's dream was too important to stop, so he supported him. Nami packed in frustration. Mihawk drew a small blade to avoid killing Zoro with his main sword. The duel began, and Zoro attacked again and again, only to fail each time. He was wounded in the chest and his sword broke, yet he refused to step back, knowing retreat meant death. Impressed by his courage, Mihawk praised him and walked away, telling him to grow stronger. The crew brought Zoro to the ship worried about him. They needed a doctor. Luffy asked Sanji, who agreed to help. Zeph assisted by preparing fish to bandage Zoro's wounds. His condition was critical, but they worked to save him. Meanwhile, Mihawk told Garp that he followed his own rules and refused to bring Luffy back, believing the boy could one day find the One Piece. Enraged, Garp destroyed the room as Kobe watched. On the Going Merry, Luffy thought only about Zoro while cleaning swords. Sanji told Luffy about Zeph, who used to be pirate. Flashback shows when Zeph attacked their ship and a wave hit, destroying everything. Sanji and Zeph survived on a rock. Zeph gave Sanji his food and told him to leave, but they were stranded together for 70 days. As Sanji starved, he planned to steal the food, only to discover Zeph had eaten his own leg and given all the supplies to him. Sanji realized a captain must be ready to sacrifice everything for his crew. In present, Nami scolded Luffy for not stopping the fight, but he couldn't block his friend's dream. On Garp's ship, Kobe tried to convince him to let Luffy live, but Garp hesitated. At the same time, Arlong arrived at Barati with his crew, threatening everyone. Zeph told them to eat without paying, but Luffy had to be found, or they would be killed. Nami warned they needed to escape. Sanji moved to protect people, and Luffy insisted on helping, asking Nami to take care of Zoro. Arlong humiliated humans. He grabbed someone, ready to kill, but Luffy arrived, and Arlong mocked him for being a kid. Buggy was revealed from the sack, hearing everything. Luffy attacked Arlong, but his punches were dodged. Sanji tried to fight, but it was useless. Luffy was thrown out, but his rubber body protected him, and he kept attacking. Arlong remained strong. Arlong grabbed Luffy, planning to kill him, but Nami arrived just in time. She told him she had done her job, and now they should leave. Luffy was shocked, but Nami pretended to be Arlong's ally. She asked him to throw Luffy into the sea instead of killing him. Arlong agreed, and Luffy nearly drowned until Sanji jumped in and saved him. Meanwhile, Garp announced they wouldn't let this go and threw them in cages. Koby was surprised and began to understand the situation. At the Baratie, Zeph scolded Sanji for wasting time and urged him to chase the All Blue. Though Sanji hesitated, Zeph pushed him to leave. Feeling the crew falling apart, Luffy begged Zoro to return, and when Zoro woke up, he promised to stay with him. Luffy then prepared to find Nami, gathering supplies as Sanji joined the crew as their cook, and was warmly welcomed. They forced Buggy to take them to Konomi Island, where Zoro believed Nami left by choice, but Sanji suspected there was more to it. They arrived at Konomi Island, where Nami was gambling. A flashback shows Nami's past with Belle-Mère. As a child, she stole a map book and rejected any connection to her. Later, Belle-Mère told Nami how she found her. As a wounded marine on an island, she discovered Nami and Nojiko. She knew she had to live for these children because they needed her most. In the present, Arlong praised Nami's skills, hoping she could rule the world with him, but she focused only on fulfilling one promise. He sent her to collect tribute from Kokoyashi village. Meanwhile, Garp arrived at Zeph, pretending not to know about his grandson while they shared a meal. At Kokoyashi village, the crew saw the devastation. Nami demanded more money from the poor villagers under Arlong's orders, and Nojiko criticized her. Seeing her crew, Nami admitted she had deceived them for Arlong and warned them not to trust her. Luffy and Sanji sensed she was hiding something and sought Nojiko, who only relented when tempted by Sanji's cooking. Meanwhile, Zeph and Garp discussed adventures while Arlong's crew partied, and Nami delivered payment. At the same time, Nojiko explains how pirates attacked their village. A quick flashback shows their mother hiding them in a secret place. She paid 1 million berries, but Arlong noticed extra plates. Seeing the danger, Nami went outside and Belle-Mère gave her life to protect them. In present, Zoro warned Luffy not to trust Nami, but he believed she had her reasons. Nezumi brought only the contracted money, and Nami used the chance to remind Arlong of his promise to free the village for 10 crore berries. Arlong called Nezumi back to work. In Baratie, the bartender revealed where Luffy had gone, and Koby informed Garp. Nami dug near her mother's grave and found a box. Nojiko attacked her, breaking the box and revealing jewels. Now Nami could explain. A flashback shows that after Belle-Mère's death, Nami went to Arlong, asking to join his crew. Arlong doubted her, fearing she could be dangerous, but she proved her skill with a map she had drawn. Impressed, he agreed to let her join, with Nami's one condition. He must free her village for 10 crore berries. She worked hard to gather the money while making maps. Nojiko regretted misunderstanding Nami, who had kept quiet to avoid trouble. Nezumi arrived to take the stolen money. Nami tried to stop them, but Nezumi escaped with it. In anger, Nami stabbed her arm on the tattoo marking Arlong's crew, repeatedly wounding herself until Luffy arrived, grabbed her hand and stopped her, deciding to take revenge on Arlong without mercy. Sanji saw Kokoyashi village burning from Arlong's attack. A flashback shows young Nami enduring the pain of the tattoo, then starting to make a map for Arlong while chained by her feet. In the present, next day, the villagers wanted to fight Arlong, but Nami refused, knowing they were too weak. Luffy took charge, leading them in the attack against Arlong. Meanwhile, Garp confronted Nezumi for failing to stop Arlong, but he blamed Luffy. Koby sided with Luffy, and Garp followed him to capture him. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji arrived at Arlong Park using smoke bombs, taking on Arlong's crew. Zoro with his sword, Sanji with martial skills, while Luffy and Nami ran to the map room. There, Nami revealed she had been chained until her 12th birthday. Arlong arrived and accused her of betrayal and revealed his plan to rule the world with the map. Furious, Luffy attacked, breaking Arlong's sword. Buggy offered to help but betrayed them and fled. Usopp pretended dead, then burned a fishman with fire, while Sanji faced a karate champion. Luffy struggled as Arlong threw him around, but his gum attack broke Arlong's teeth. Determined, Luffy smashed pillars and destroyed the building, finally throwing Arlong to the ground and collapsing the building. The crew emerged safe, laughing together and celebrating in Kokoyashi village with Sanji cooking. Garp arrived, demanding to capture them, but Koby and Helmeppo refused. He fought Luffy multiple times, but Luffy's stubbornness and dream impressed him, and Garp laughed, letting them go. Nami visited her mother's grave, while Koby brought a reward poster. The crew prepared for the Grand Line, aware pirates would chase them. Kaya was proud, and even Buggy and Alvida planned to pursue them. Shank's crew learned of Luffy's poster and celebrated. The season ends with the crew set sail for the Grand Line, unaware a mysterious figure had burned his poster. If you want more recaps like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what anime you want to see next.